So basically, the swastika is what brung you to the club, basically, right?
Right. And isn't that weird? That's weird, bro. Like I was just like, yo,
Real
what the
weird.
is that? Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Coyote from the Heathens Motorcycle Family, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today, my what's
Hey,
up,
what's
man?
going on, guys? Hey, how
How you
you
doing?
doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time.
Hey, I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, no doubt. So you're a part of a club, the
Right,
Heathens, right?
right. Heathens Motorcycle Family.
Yes. So they don't call it a motorcycle club; they call it a motorcycle family.
Yeah, we're a family. We're a family. To us, it's much more than just club. We're really there for each other, and we're at each other's houses, watching each other's kids sometimes. You know how it goes,
Yeah.
so we're a family. Yeah.
So where were you born and raised?
Well, that's kind of crazy, man. I was actually born in Honolulu, Hawaii. I was born at Triplets over there. Both my parents were in the Air Force. Uh, they split while I was over there, and we ended up moving place to place with deployments, whatever. Ended up in Pennsylvania, Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. It's real close to Maryland. It's a little small town. That's where my mom was raised. After that, came out to Tucson, Arizona. So I've been here pretty much ever since.
And how did you first get introduced to the motorcycle life? Did you have one
Well,
when you were younger, or
yeah, it started man, I was about 8 or 9 years old, right? Freaking technically I guess he's a cousin or something, but he was old, he's way older than me, man. So I was just calling him uncle, my uncle Brucey. And he's a wild dude, you know, uh like he was like on some Breaking Bad shit before Breaking Bad. Like real talk, man. He was on some crazy shit. But he used to run with a club. I don't know exactly if he was in it or not. I don't exactly know the details. I was young, and they used to pop through my mom's house and stuff. And my mom kind of knew some of them too, because at that time my mom was like a prison guard out there, so she knew. So she'd just be like, "What, bro? What's going on?" So that's how I got introduced to the life. And being on the East Coast, you just see bikes everywhere. I was just totally infatuated with bikes. I read about the culture growing up. You know, um, I went to school for sociology and everything, so that type of stuff like really hits to me. And I was just, I guess, infatuated with it since a young age.
so when were you first introduced to this club? Have you come across other clubs in your come up?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just here and there, and then, on the outside looking in, it's like, oh snap. And in the beginning, you don't know the difference between, I guess the pecking order. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh shit, they're in a club, and it's like a hog group or something like that. But when you don't know, you don't know. Just in Arizona, it's beautiful riding weather, so you see clubs everywhere. Yeah, so freaking that's pretty much it on that, like
What was your
freaking
first introduction to the club you're in now? What, like, how did you meet the people? How did it even transpire?
it's kind of crazy, man. They just kind of were always in my radar. I remember the very first time that I saw a heathen was at this bar in Tucson where I'm at. It's the oldest bar in Tucson. It's called the Buffet. And I was there and I was on a date. And I'm sitting there talking with this chick, and I look over and there's these two dudes, and I see them, and they got a buzzard, and the buzzard under the buzzard, there's like a swastika, and I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, what are these dudes? I'm like, what the, you know what I mean? So the girl I'm with, she's like, just stay here. If we stay here, it won't bother. I was like, well, I need another beer. Like I was going up there anyway. So I just go up, and me being me, I'm a pretty chill dude, you know, like I was just like, hey, what's happening? And they're like, hey, what's going on, man? Super friendly and I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, like they're super respectful. I didn't see no BS, so I just left it at that. Fast forward, I was a part of a social club based around like metal music called AZDM out of New York. It started out in New York. It's a whole thing. But we're at a show one night and a couple of heathens showed up and a couple of the dudes in AZDM came up to me. They're like, yo, just to let you know, I think there's some Nazis in the building. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, man, there's some swastikas in the building. And I'm like, oh, dude, like, you know what I mean? Whatever happens, happens, you know? So I keep doing what I'm doing. I think I was smoking a joint or something. And one of them comes up to me and he's like, hey, man, how you doing? And he introduced himself. I was like, what's going on, man? I introduced myself. He's like, hey, just so you know, I saw some of your boys kind of iron us. And like, you know, we're in a public place, man. I was like, yeah, I know. And he's like, we're not here for any problems, man. That's not what people think it is on the back of our cuts. And, you know, we ended up chopping it up. So at that time, I met that guy and I met a couple of other people and we're the whole night drinking. And one of them said to me, who actually turns out to be he's my P now. He's like, you know, one day, man, I think you're going to end up riding for us. And I was just like, okay, you know, whatever. Then I ended up riding with them, man. And it turns out some people that I came up with were a part of the club. Some people, I was a sponsored skateboarder for a while. And like, there was a dude in there was on the same skate team as me. And he's like, he's the reason I'm there. You know what I mean? So here we are.
So basically, the swastika is what brung you to the club, basically, right?
Yep. Right. And isn't that weird? That's weird, bro. Like I was just like, yo,
Real
what the
weird.
fuck is that? Yeah.
Yeah. And people are like thinking it's something different.
Yeah, you know, and like, you know, you really got to be a part of the life to understand what it means. And don't get me wrong, there's some racism, you know, out there, you know, excuse my language, but there's some racist people out there, man. But what people fail to realize that aren't a part of the life, when it began, a lot of them swastikas and imperial Japanese flags that came over and were on people's cuts in the beginning, those were fucking war trophies and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
they were taken. Those were earned in blood. You know, so I'm burnt out anyway, so I don't care on the first topic.
Yeah,
You
but
know what I
so
mean? So
what's it like to be a black man riding around with a swastika on your cut?
it's funny. You know, I usually out here I stay geared up. So, you know, I got my long sleeves, my gloves, I got full face and gator on. And I'll be at a stoplight and you'll see people in the light. You just like, you know, like you can tell they're talking. And I'll just lift my visor up and be like, and they're like, I did that one time, and some dude, I did that, and they all just froze, and I just took off. I look in my mirror, and they're still there, like confused, and people honking and stuff. You know, I don't care. You know, I don't care. You know, because it's more than the symbolism to me. You know, it's base level. It's about my brothers. You know, and
Yeah.
like that's just what it is. And of course, I know I've had to answer to some dominance that, you know, from like the black bike set and everything. They're just like, you know, what's this about? And I explain it to them and they get it, you know.
Yeah, but so
So
it's one thing to associate with some people, smoke a joint, hang out at a concert, and it's another thing to join the club and be wearing it on your back. So like
yeah,
where does that transition happen? So you're like owning it, you know what I mean? It's a lot
yeah,
different than just hanging out with some people. So
yeah.
where does it change for you to be like, I'm gonna do this?
I would say it was, you know, it was when I finally asked to have the meeting to where, because you know they were asking me, they were, why don't you come and hang around, man? Why don't you come talk to us? I was getting messages and everything, and I was like, I don't know, man, I don't know, because I was, you know, I was going through some at the time. But finally, I was like, what's wrong with talking to them and seeing what it's about? And then I want to hear from them what the swastika means to them. And basically, to us, it's like it's a buzzard over a swastika. So in that aspect, that is a dead issue to us. You know what I mean? We don't move like that. So it doesn't. So that's what it means to us. And it's just, to me, I call it the measuring stick. Because people are going to do one of three things. They're going to come up and ask you a question. They're going to ignore you, or they're going to come up and be belligerent and want to pop off. And then it is what it is after that.
And have
So
you had all three happen to you in your
yeah,
time in the club?
yeah. Saying FAFO, man, it straight across the board. You know, I believe in being respectful and cool until it's time not to be. You know,
Yeah.
so you get that. It's gonna come with it, and that's one of the things you need to realize when you're coming our way. Whatever color you are, whatever race you are, a nationality, that's gonna happen. Because it is. I mean, when we break it down, it is a vilified symbol. You know, even though it was around eons before, uh, someone with a mustache kind of did it for everybody else. You know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
so look at what Kanye West is doing with it now, and people are not happy with him.
Yeah, yeah. I, oh, Kanye, boy. Whew. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I just think that what he's doing and what we're doing, they're both different, but the kind of the same at the same time. But I also feel like in Kanye's mind, no disrespect to him, I think that wires a little crossed sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that I would never just dismiss him as crazy. But my boy is eccentric as hell. Like, so
A little bit.
yeah, yeah. Like I don't even know. Yeah, yeah, man. That's crazy. That's
So what
crazy.
what happens when you ask for this meeting? What happens?
Okay. So I asked for this meeting after talking to my friend that I've known in the club and talking to the prez. So we meet up, funny, at the buffet. That's the same place where they first came in my radar, and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting, and all of a sudden I hear, you know what I mean, all kinds of bikes pull up, and I'm like, okay, cool, they're here. They all come in, the probates and prospects and stuff up against the wall. The officers sit down and we just chop it up. And I tell them about what I've been going on, what's been going on with me. I tell them about myself. They tell me what the program is.
Do you have a
And
bike at this time? Do you have a
what,
bike?
at this time, yeah,
Yeah.
actually, well, no, at that first meeting, no, I didn't, man. I didn't. Like, I was freaking goofing around on some buddies' bikes and everything. But I was just like, I was kind of, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. At the point that they caught me, honestly, it was a perfect time because I was completely listless, man. You know, to be real candid, like I had just got out of like a real serious relationship of like 5 years. I kind of felt like I got done a little dirty in the relationship, and like I was freaking I had like a piece of shit van, like barely making it to work, sitting there doing my thing, and just going back to the house and like drinking myself away, and just like that's about it. That's all I was doing, you know. Going to shows here and there, but I wasn't doing. I have no wind in my sails at all. They caught me, like I said, they caught me at the perfect time because I was waiting to be a part of something. I was waiting to do something. I was waiting to flourish, you know. Man, we all sat down, we hashed it out. I decided right then and there, I was like, you know what? I want to hang around, you know. That's what I want to do. I want to see what this is about. And we shook hands and everything. They took off. And it's funny because one of my best bros, you love him, man. He's hilarious. Shout out to my boy Thump Freaking he uh he was there, and he comes up to me because it's during the conversation we were having, some old drunk dude was interrupting and he almost got his wig split, and Thump saw it, so he comes over and buys us all around. He's like, hey, no disrespect, but don't mind him. He's a drunk. And he walks the dude outside and he's like, dude, go home. So as they're taking off, me and Thump are watching them, and I'm like, damn, dude, that was pretty awesome. And he's like, yeah, man, that was cool, man. I was like, yo, we need to do this, and freaking he was, we ended up splitting ways. I started prospecting. He prospected later, and he's there to this day. It was just incredible, dude. It was incredible. It was a strong meeting. I felt like, even there, dude, I felt like them dudes cared about what I was doing. My who would went on to become my sponsor, Johnny. He messaged me that night. It was like, give me a call. I give him a call. He's like, I tell you what, I don't know you. I just met you today. He's like, I like your energy, man. And if my brothers are vouching for you the way that they're vouching for you, then I'm a vouch for you. And when it's time for you to rock, I got you, and it's just been like that ever since. There's never been one moment where I've ever had to like question, yo, dude, do my bros got my back?
Yeah.
Never. Yeah.
I think when you're in a bigger club, maybe it's like that because they don't really know the people. It's so big.
Right.
And like, how big is your club, if you don't mind me asking?
We're small, man. Without getting into too much, we've got a couple chapters, you know what I mean? But yeah, we're not the biggest at all. But I tell you what, I know everybody in my club, on a first name basis, and I can say that I've talked to all of them on the phone. And I can say that when I was, hurt and everything, I heard from every last person, you know, and I can't speak for other people's politics. I can't speak for the other people's get down, but it is what it is.
So
I know where I stand.
how long into that meeting do you get a bike?
Um, man,
Are you
I got a
thinking
bike
like, I
like
gotta get one? I gotta get one. Like, are you thinking right
I
away? I
actually
gotta get one.
I actually got hooked up, man. I had a buddy who had a bike up in Tempe that he was trying to get rid of, and I just jumped on it. You know, I blew my wad buying that bike, and then I had to save up some more to get it insured and registered and everything. So freaking it was a real fast turnaround. Like, and I believe in doing everything kind of like the right way. I'm not gonna half-ass, and like if I make an investment into something, I'm not just gonna shirk something else just for it to get taken away from me, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So right away, as soon as I put the money down for the bike, I went to like a riding course and friggin' got my endorsement right away. Just, because I really wanted to show those guys that I was really committed, you know.
I
So
think
maybe
that's another misconception about people in motorcycle clubs. Another question I have: is it a one percenter club that you're in?
we're an outlaw club, not necessarily one percenter, but we rock the three piece, you know. So we like to call ourselves 99% no good, or like I like to say sometimes 99% no fucks given, you know, and that's just where it's at with me, man. So I get that a lot. I get that a lot for people. So are you 1%? And we I guess we walk the line, you know. For
Yeah,
we breathe the
I
same
think
air, I guess.
a lot of people think that, the people are in an outlaw club or a 1% club. They probably don't have a license. They probably, like most people in clubs, have a job. They have families. They're just normal people,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
exactly. I mean, you know, freaking what is it? Dirty hands, clean money, I guess, man. It takes a lot of money to be a part of a club, you know. You gotta keep, most clubs you got dues, you gotta pay for gas, insurance, the bike itself is expensive. You got, when you're on the road, man, that's expensive. It's a lot of money. If people only understood how much like it takes financially, and I mean it takes time, but man, now it takes a lot, man. It takes a lot. You'll get people who will talk, but they don't know, man. That you're talking to like freaking pipes tradesmen or electricians that have 20 years in, they're making just as much as a freaking doctor almost, or something like that. And freaking we just spend it different, you
And
know.
I hear it's hard to juggle your life. Like if you have like a relationship or you have like something else going on, it's kind of hard to focus all your energy on this club when you have other things going on in your life. Do you find that hard sometimes?
Oh, well, yes and no. So a little bit about me. So I practiced Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I'm sorry, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And I've been doing it for a long time. I'm a brown belt. I coach kids, you know. I have a
Yeah.
full-time job. I I definitely put my club is first, but I'm also in a band. I do everything. It just depends on the person really and what your drive is and how you can prioritize. I guess I'm kind of lucky because growing up I got diagnosed with like ADHD, so like I'm just
All
I
over the
gotta stay
place.
busy. Yeah, bro. I'm pretty I'm all over the place, man. So you know keeping everything in line for me, it's not really that much of a problem. But I definitely see that. I see that in some people where it gets a little hard. And when they first were in it, they were killing it. And as the years go on, it kind of shirks off a little bit just because life, I guess, gets in the way and whatnot. But it's to me, it just comes natural, because this is just really what I want, where I want to be in life, and this is what I want to do.
What was the prospecting period like for you?
It was pretty. It was. I don't want to say like I got tortured or nothing like that, but I was tested, man. I was tested, but at the same time, I feel like my brothers also recognized that I was on my grown man. And whereas, you might need to test someone a certain way, say like, a fresh 20-year-old, not saying all 20-year-olds are green or, all youngsters are green or I didn't get tested like that, because I was a bit older. Um, so of course I have my tasks to do and everything, but as far as like the super, super hazing, there was
Yeah.
some, but not a lot, you know.
And how long was that period for?
For me, man, how long was it? It was about like 7 months, man. But I was on the we just so happened at that time to be having a big event, like one of our first big events. And, I really put 110% into, coming up with ideas, booking bands to finding a venue to everywhere with flyers. And I don't want to say I did everything because I definitely didn't do everything, but I was busting my fucking ass and people recognized it. And you know I that's where I got like to my probationary period.
And what was it like when you finally got your patch?
It was crazy. I want to I'll say it was cold. Friggin' I had to do something involving water in a cold December Arizona evening. So so it was cold. So but I was very, very proud. I was very, very proud, and I was just happy that everybody was proud of me because this is really what like I said, this is where I want to be, and this is what I believe in, and it was awesome to see that my brothers believed in me. So it's some good, man.
And are you the first African American in that club?
I am. I am.
That's
I
huge.
am.
That's really big.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even really think about it too much, you know. But there are sometimes when I just sit back and I'm like, damn, that's pretty crazy, dude. You know, because you know our club has history. You know, we're not totally unknown. You know, and just like to make history like that was pretty awesome. I was really proud.
And it proves that that symbol on their back piece is not what people think it is. You know,
Exactly, exactly, exactly. There's a long story behind it, and you know, maybe one day we can break it down more. You know, but yeah, yeah, it's an amazing thing. I really think, and I'm really appreciative to be where I'm at.
so you get your patch. Is there any crazy situations after you get your patch that you can walk me through?
Well, there's one. It's not that crazy, but it's funny. So this we had just had a run up to Tortilla Flats. It's like towards Globe in Arizona, right? So coming back down and my bike starts acting up. I pull the slider to the road. Long story short, the clutch took, you know, I had to tow it back to the house, to my buddy's house to get it fixed. I'm on a different bike, stressing out about money. So like these next couple of weeks, I'm like really pissed off. So one of these days during the week, it was a Saturday, we all decide we're gonna link up, and you're gonna laugh, and go to the buffet. I don't know why, but we used to like that bar. Shout out to them though, dude. So we're there and we got the bikes lined up out front. We're having a good time, you know, and we're actually outside out front at that point smoking and joking. This truck comes, veers in and almost hits my president's old lady's bike real close. So I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, yo, bro, and you almost hit the bike. Yo, this was like, what? I'm like, you almost hit the bike. Please be careful, man. He's like, oh, but I didn't though. I'm like, oh, you son of a. I'm like, yo, you got a
I
smart.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So like,
one of those.
yeah. So I'm like, you got a smart mouth. So we start jawing a little bit back and forth. Freaking finally, I'm like, you know what, bro? This is back in parking. They're gonna tell you anyway. So I thought he backed out to leave. And freaking he leaves, but no, he goes and hits the U at the roundabout and backs in. And I'm like, dude, we're about to fight. So I'm like, I'm walking towards him. I'm like, we got a problem? Homie was like, nah, man, no, no. And he walks towards, and I go, freaking, but you really did hit the bike. Cause I'm like, but you really did almost hit the bike though, man. We start jawing a little bit. So freaking, I let it go. I'm like, whatever, man. Freaking, I got a lady friend with me. There's some more ladies with them, you know, with us, and like I ain't trying to be that dude right now. You know, I'm trying to chill. So this mother from across the bar, bro, he keeps antagonizing. And we go here all the time. I'm really not trying to get kicked out the bar. I'm really trying to just chill tonight. So anytime he comes back, because he keeps trying to use the piss, because what he's doing about him. Anyway, forget
The same guy.
and I'm
Same guy.
yeah, the same guy.
Yeah.
And he keeps on antagonizing us. I'm like, let's just hop outside, bro, and handle it, because we got to understand it at this bar. Just take it outside, just like any bar. So he keeps coming by. This final time he comes by, I'm like, dude, let's just step outside and get it over with. And he was like, you know what? I'm gonna go take a shit. Then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna beat you like the you are. And I'm like stunned for a second. I'm like, yo, no, this motherfucker didn't. He walks towards the bathroom. I look at my people like, did he just say that? And they're like, oh, yeah, he said that. Now everybody, that look like, yo, what the fuck are you gonna do? So I'm like, I all of a sudden got to take a piss. You know what I mean? Real talk. I thought homie was gonna be in there like getting some toots.
Yeah.
And so I was just gonna smack the bag out of his hand and whoop on his head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he wasn't in there. He wasn't in there doing that. The dude really went in there to take. So that leads me to ask you, what type of person goes and talks to a group of people, then goes to proceed and take a literal. That's crazy work, bro. That's
Wow.
crazy. So I see him in there,
He
and I'm
didn't want
like,
you to beat out of him,
yeah, he was
right?
loosening it first, bro.
Yeah. Oh man.
So I'm like, bro, what am I gonna do? So this, like, the shitter at the buffet got them old west stall doors, right?
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like, man, what the I was like, I can't let slide, and I'm not gonna sit here and wait for this dude to take it, So see this dude through the door, and he's mid wipe, and I just punched through the saloon doors and hit him right in his face, dude, and knock him up against the wall. And I swear this dude got a piece of toilet paper, and he's just like, "What the bro?" And I'm like, "Dude, I really just," I was like, "Man, fuck it," and I hit him a couple more times and broke the toilet. It started shooting up. Fucking I guess outside, one of my bros was like, "Hey man, you should probably go get Coyote before he does something." And so freaking, it was actually my boy Thump. He comes in and he's like, "Oh," and I can hear him out there. He's like, "Well, I tried," and I come out.
Oh man.
Yeah, bro, we're still not allowed in that bar.
Yeah, they kicked you out, right?
Yeah, that 86 us, man. Like, freaking that was pretty funny. When it comes to like serious, at least for us, like we're a new we're out here by ourselves, kind of. We're neutral, bro. Like we don't really get into too much because again we respect everybody, and just so happen everybody's super cool with us. And I think that honestly, here in Tucson, like pops off sometimes, but I think that there's like this general understanding that we got really nice weather where we can ride 365 days a year, and we got dope ass events out here. Nobody wants to be the one to fuck that up, you know?
Yeah. You don't feel like other clubs. I mean, you don't have to answer this, but you don't feel like other clubs sometimes like, what are you doing in our area? You got to ask permission to be here or anything like that.
Nah, man. Nah.
Like
I've been,
Texas, we all know who
oh yeah,
Texas allegedly
yeah,
belongs to.
yeah, man. Don't get me wrong. Like where I'm from, it's not like everywhere else. It's
Yeah,
very few and far between. But here, nah, man. I've been here since I was 12 years old. I'd be goddamned. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like freaking ain't no way. And that's not even on no tough guy. It's just like, bro, what's the point? You know what I mean? You know what makes people what teaches people that they really don't earn or own a go. Like, and when you're on that type of time, it's only a matter of time. We've seen it. We've seen it in the
have you
news.
seen it in your area? Have you seen it in your area
Oh
with
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna name no names or nothing, but yeah, I've seen it, man. I've seen it. Like, and I don't want to. I'm not gonna get into too much detail because it's not really none of my business. But yeah, I've seen it. You know, so I just wish everybody would get on the same type of time, man, and we could all just chill everywhere
Do you
because
think it's
that's one of my
possible
favorite
for
things.
clubs to
Oh,
get
go ahead.
along? Do you think it's possible for clubs to get along?
I can't really answer that. And because I know that there are some beefs out there that are decades old and were been beef before since I was born. And I understand that there comes a time that after so much lives have been lost and so much blood has been shed, that it might not be able to get walked back. But then at the same token, I feel that we're all grown men and that there's nothing stopping us just to really sitting down and hashing some real shit out. And I I believe in fist fights, to be totally honest with you. You know, straight
Yeah,
up. I was raised by old school people. And if you have a beef, you have a fist fight. What did Craig's dad say? He said, "You live to fight another day." You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like, and
true.
there's no reason for someone to get taken off the map over some petty shit, man.
No,
Especially when you find out. It's crazy because being a sociologist and looking at podcasts on YouTube about gangs and stuff, and you realize that there's a lot of beefs that get started over females and stuff. And I'm like, that's crazy, bro. Because
and then both people lose their life. Both people. You throw your
yeah,
life away for nothing.
yeah, and guess what, man? 78% of the time, these hoes out here are for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And they're playing games.
100%.
Yeah, and like it just dumbfounds me sometimes because, come on, like I said again, I'm 42, bro. Imagine me joining an organization or joining something at in my 40s to prove that I'm tough or something. You know, that's just weird to me, man. And that's just me. I'm probably gonna offend somebody with that statement, but you know, all I can do is speak my truth in my from my observations.
Do you guys get harassed by law enforcement?
Yeah. Yeah. Which is funny because freaking they'll pull you over and then they'll try to shoot the shit with you. Like, bro, what the I gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta go to work or something. They pull, hey, so what are you doing? I don't know, dude. I'm trying to get to work and earn a paycheck. What are you doing other than harassing people? You know? And the other thing that cracks me up are the law enforcement clubs because, you know, like during the weekdays you're pulling us over, but during the weekends you want to be us. That's wild as hell. That's wild as hell. Like,
Have you seen them out on the road? Yeah, have you seen them out on the road too?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. I've seen more than a few out here. Friggin' I always laugh and think in my head because yo, those dudes will be having their late clutching their old ladies and their old ladies be staring. I was like, ooh, that's what makes you do this. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? The old lady just want to go out and freaking
They might as well have the girl riding. Might as well
exactly.
be on the back.
Exactly, bro. Like those
The
dudes,
girl
I don't give them dudes no respect. You know what I mean? Pick a side of the fence, homie.
ride. So how far have you guys ridden in the country?
Some of us have ridden coast to coast, man. You know what I mean? Me, I've been more around Arizona and everything. Been up to Colorado for a bit and then came down. But mostly that trip I was in the cage mostly. I didn't have the insurance on my bike or nothing, so I didn't bring it with me. You know what I mean? I mean the last thing I want to do is get pulled over to and then them gives them grounds to with the bros, you know. I like my on the up and
Take
up
your
when it comes
bike.
to that.
Take
That's
your
the base
bike.
level. Exactly. That's the base level. Get your ass some. Hey, folks, get your ass some insurance and not the bare minimum for real.
How many accidents have you seen, and can you walk me through an accident if you got a story about that?
Oh man, that's that 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 question kind of hits hard, man. We just one of our prospects just went down Sunday. We were heading back to Tucson from down south, and freaking chain reaction, man. He got hit and he got drugged, and you know I don't want to get into too much, but yeah, he's not doing so good. If I could take a second and just say, Chop, I love you, bro. You're strong. You're gonna get through this shit, and you're gonna come out the other side better than ever, man. We all love you, and we're hoping for the best for him and his family. Um, freaking man, he's got yeah, yeah. That's that. It was scary, bro. It was scary. You know, you train yourself and you could take all the classes and first aid and all that you want, man. But when you roll up on that, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a little bit that I froze. Shout out to the bro has for keeping a calm head and like doing what needed to be done and snapping us out of it to freaking help him. You know, like it dude. God damn it. You know, that was
Yeah,
not
it's a lot of chaos, right? Adrenaline
yeah,
rushing.
yeah, you know, and freaking it really hit different because July of 24, I was hit on my bike by someone who wasn't paying attention, you know, and freaking I had like an open book pelvic fracture, basically splitting in two. I have ru- titanium
Damn.
rods and plates and screws and shit inside of me, and you know, like rolling up on that, all I saw was like flashbacks, but it felt like flashbacks, but from the other aspect of things, you know. And yo, Staxx, I can't tell you which side is worse, dude, because both sides of the coin are fucking horrible. You know, I was scared. I was absolutely scared for my bro. You know, I've known Chop for a very long time, and outside of this, before this, and I was scared for him.
And it's different when you see your brother laying on the ground, right?
It is because there have been situations where you roll up and it's a stranger, and you know, and you help, you know, but then it's like, man, I dude, like that, it was an obstacle. It was scary. Yeah, it was not good, man. It was not good. And it sucked because that weekend, this past weekend, we were all having an awesome time and just having a blast. And I'll even show you. I'm gonna send you some pictures so you see. We were having a great time, man, and like then boom, instant in an instant. It's just like that. It could be like that, you know. Goddamn. Damn. I don't wish it on anybody. I don't care who you are, what you've done to me or my brother. I do not wish that upon anybody.
What about your accident? Can you walk me through what happened?
Yeah, yeah. I was that morning, you know, I woke up and I like I said, I live in Arizona. It was a summer day, bright and shiny. But for me, I'm gonna be honest, man, the whole day had kind of had like this weird overcast to it, you know. And that morning, we went to a memorial for another fallen rider who had passed away, you know, and I went home, grabbed my girlfriend, we went out to lunch, came back, had lunch, or had lunch, came back home, had a nap, and shit, you know, midday adult naps. Got up, got ready because we were going to the clubhouse because we were having an event, and I remember just getting on the bike, going cruising, and just the whole nothing was wrong, but it felt weird. So then we're at an intersection, and I'm going. I have the right of way. I'm going right through, and here in Tucson, we have these cautionary yellow left-hand turn signals. Guy wasn't paying attention. I saw him, and it looked. I swear, it looked like he was looking at me, man. You know, and he goes to make a left, and I see him coming, and I'm like, yo, what the dude? Like, what is this dude doing? So like, I start, you know, trying to go parallel to him because I'm like, freaking, what? I don't understand what's happening necessarily, you know. And then the last thing I remember is being like, bro, I'm gonna get off this bike and beat this dude. And then I wake up on the ground with people around me. And the first thing
So
I do
you're
is like,
you're
yo,
you're in the left lane. He's in the right lane, and he's like turning into you.
so I'm headed west. And I'm in the shit. I'm in the freaking farthest left lane
Straight lane.
or farthest lane going west. He's in the turn lane, left turn
Yeah.
lane to go north. And yeah, he came and hit us, and I'm telling him the first thing I did because my girlfriend was on the back of the bike, you know, the first thing I did was like I started yelling her name. And then I saw her and she's crying and people are holding her back and they're telling her she can't walk. She's like, I'm fine, I'm fine. Friggin' then another blur. I think I'm passing out. And I passed out a little bit and I woke up in the ambulance and friggin' the one of the EMTs, man, whoever he was, sorry, bro. But friggin' he tells me, he's like, sir, I'm gonna have to cut off your jacket. And I'm like, no. And he's like, well, it needs to be done. And you know, like how people will talk about you, but it's like, remember when you were a little kid, they'd be talking about you, but they're talking over you. He started doing that. and he asked for some
Yeah.
scissors. So I see him with the scissors, and he's coming towards my cut. And I smack the scissors out his hand. He looks at me like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "I can do this. Grab my hand." And then I told the other EMT, "Grab my hand," and they pushed me up, and we took off my cut, and they folded it and put it on my chest. I went, I was at I went to the triage, the trauma center, and freaking they were talking about freaking putting a catheter in, and I still didn't understand the severity of what had happened. Like, okay, we're gonna put a catheter in you, okay? I was like, what the no? Do I get a choice? I don't want, you know what I mean? They're like, well, you're gonna piss yourself, and I was like, well, fuck that. You ain't
Yeah.
sticking nothing up me, bro.
Like you're
You know?
coherent, right? You're coherent.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
talking. Everything's
yeah. I'm
good.
talking. I'm talking. Shit. I'm cracking some jokes and stuff. Like, freaking and so she's like, okay, well, let us at least get you some stuff to ease the pain. So they gave me some. She's like, get the catheter ready, and I'm like, oh, and I pass out. I passed out. I wake up, I got a catheter, and I'm like, damn, she got me, bro. And so they're moving me to a room, and they're talking, and at one point I'm like, hey, I think I'm missing a tooth. And they're like, what? We didn't, I don't know. And I was go, I spit a tooth out on the ground. I was like, there it is. And they're just like, dude, what the hell's wrong with this dude? You know, I was on some good drugs, I guess. I don't know.
What are all the injuries that you got from that accident?
So basically, I got a open book pelvic fracture, which basically I've split in two,
Ooh,
and I destroyed my pelvic ring right here. And I'm really lucky because I got like a concussion. I was bruised and banged up, but other than my pelvis, that's all that really happened. When I hit, I kind of got, I sideswiped him and I popped up and I landed straight down on my tank. And like open book pelvises are really common motorcycle injuries, and people who ride horses get them too. So yeah, that was fucked up.
from like slamming on the tank, right? From your
Yeah,
body slamming on the tank.
yeah, I saw a picture of my bike afterwards, and I was like, damn. But I will say, homeboy in the truck couldn't drive that either. If I ain't riding, you ain't driving, bro. Sorry.
And what was the recovery period like? How long?
They said it was going to be about a year and a half to recover. I also, like I said earlier, like I'm in the gym a lot. I do jujitsu. I do all kinds of stuff. So I was in really good shape. So I guess that really helped me. And I'm really stubborn, man. So the minute that they said that I was gonna be able to walk again, I was like, oh, well, cool. So it's just a matter of time. So I was in a wheelchair for about 3 months, and then when they gave me the clearance to that I could walk that weekend, I hopped on a bike. Not for too long, but I definitely hopped on a bike
Yeah,
and was rolling around.
yeah.
Yep, it hurt, but I had to do it. I had
How
to
was
prove to myself that I could.
how was your brother's support during this time?
My brothers were there every day. Every day there was somebody there. You know, anything I needed, my family needed, they were on it. I was like, dang man, I need like slippers, and what I mean, my feet were getting cold. I had them, they got me all everything. They set up a fundraiser and like that. I don't even want to measure the financial. I'll just say that financially I was freaking taken care of. I wasn't worried about nothing. I wasn't worried about no bills. Emotionally, mentally, and everything, they were there. They were there, absolutely telling me, because I was like, dude, I don't got a bike anymore. I guess I'm out the club. You know, they're like, hell no, bro. That's not how this works. You're can't get rid of us that easy. You know what I mean? And so
Hmm.
even me having like, I don't even want to say apprehension, but there is a point when you get hurt like that. And believe me, because I'm 110% down for my club, there comes a point when you go down like that, you're like, dude, can I really get back up and do this? Can I get back up and do this knowing that this could be one of the outcomes, knowing full well. And for me, it wasn't even a question. It was just, yeah, absolutely. You know, my brothers showed up for me, so I'm gonna show up for them every damn day that I'm breathing. Yeah,
Just like
they were
when
there.
your the prospect went down, right? They're
Yep.
there for him.
Yeah, I was working today when we were calling earlier or talking earlier. I was at work. I actually went on a delivery, and in between the delivery, I went up and I actually got to see him and everything. So that was really awesome.
How's he doing?
So
Doing better?
yeah, he's doing better, man. He's doing better. He's a strong cat, man. Like he's a badass. You know, like he's a good man.
So what does it mean to be in this club for you? What does it mean to you?
It's it's family. It it's in the title. You know, that's what it is. Don't get me wrong, you know, I do have a biological family and I love them very much, you know, but this is family. You know, we're literally there for each other. I talk to my brothers every day, every single day.
And you
Friggin'
guys
be it.
argue just like normal friends do and everything,
Oh,
right?
oh man, my best friend is in the club, bro, and he gets on my damn nerves constantly. And I hope he's gonna watch this because he knows who I'm talking about. So we're gonna, every day he always gets on my nerves, man. Like we're all, yeah, man, it's gonna happen. It's just it's family, you know. Like we're gonna fight like siblings sometimes. So, but at the end of the day, we all believe in the mission statement, and we're all, you know what I mean. We're all there for each other when it comes down to it.
So what's in store for the future for you?
I couldn't call it. I really couldn't call it, man. I just hope to be here, you know, to be honest with you. Freaking I hope to grow my club. I hope to protect and uphold the legacy of my club. Just and I hope to be riding. That's it, man. You know, and being a good brother. That's it.
Hell yeah. It sounds like a good time, man.
It is, man. It truly, you know what I mean? I tell people high risk, total freedom.
Hell yeah, I'll be riding in the summer. Come on.
Hell yeah, man.
It's even the ducats up right now. About to get a bike.
Hey, hey,
Working on.
do it. Hey, when you get one, come out here. I'm telling you, it's a trip, bro.
I will. I will. Do you guys just ride Harleys or can you ride anything? Like
We ride American made. So be it Harley, Victory, Indian, I guess. I mean, I don't know if we would turn down a Buell, but we would let them up. We let them know that he's rocking a Buell, but it'd be cool. But yeah, we're all American made, man.
what's it like when you guys are riding in a pack together?
Damn, man, it's poetry in motion. You know, I think it's beautiful. You know, especially when you really get to know how your brothers ride that are on the side of you and everything. And you're just hitting some bends and everything. It's just like a long snake, man. And like, you know, at first, I remember when I first started riding in a pack, I was really nervous, not for myself, but just for other people, you know, because I don't want to do anything. It's one thing if I do something to myself, but if I'm the cause of anything else, like especially my bros, um, man, that's ugly, right? So, but as time went on, I just got used to it, and I just think it's like I think it's tight. You know, you know what it reminds me of sometimes, and this is probably people are gonna laugh, but you know, like during Chinese New Year and stuff, how they got like the food dog dudes, and they're doing like they got like the head on, and and it's all
Yeah,
synchronized and everything. That's what it reminds me of sometimes. Just like the synchronized, just going
yeah.
back
That's
and
what
everything. I dig it.
this guy said. It reminds him of a slinky.
Yeah,
Slink.
that's a good one too. Yeah, man. I just have a blast, man. It's just you know, it's one of the few times I get to clear my head, you know.
Definitely, man. Well, this is a great interview. When you got some more stories, come back on and we'll do an update and maybe we'll do a live show or something.
Oh, bro. All right. If we do a live show, I'm bringing Thumb.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man,
Hey,
definitely. Yeah, if you have anyone else, let them know. I'll interview anyone you got.
Okay, cool. Could I give a quick thank you real quick? I just want to thank Miklo 1%er, man. Thanks for putting me on game. Thanks for being solid, man. And man, if y'all dude, that's a solid bro right there. That's a solid dude right there. Much love and respect to him and his whole
Definitely.
family. Yeah, that's what I gotta get that.
Book,
Dude,
Spirit
that's
of
dope.
1%er.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I gotta
Man,
get one of those. Hell yeah, man. Yo, this is an awesome experience. I really appreciate it. I hope I did well, man. I just want to give a shout out to my heathen family worldwide. I want to give another get well soon to Chop. Yo, if you're ever in town, man, look us up and come have a beer.
I don't drink, but I'll come have a soda.
Hey, we got those too. Hell yeah,
Definitely.
man.
I appreciate you, man. I wish nothing but the best for you in the future. And I look forward to talking to you in the future, man.
Hell yeah, man. I'll keep in touch and keep updates on everything.
Definitely. If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, do bad. Start your own podcast. Peace.